Ezekiel 1. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research, the ISR, because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. Yah is short for YahWeh, Yahweh, Yod-He, Vod-He. There's no difference. Yah is the Elohim of the heavens and the earth, the first and the last and the only. Yah is an extremely jealous El. He doesn't even want the names of idols or mighty ones to come to our lips. And the letter J is about 600 years old. And the son of Elohim, Yehoshua, died on a stake for the sins of all of humanity more than 2,000 years ago. And the letter, or sorry, not the letter, a direct translation between Hebrew and English, Yehoshua is Joshua. And to spell or pronounce and spell Ezekiel in my best abilities, not saying it's right, just in my best abilities, probably butchering it. I butchered all of them, I believe. I know when I was doing Isaiah, I was saying Yeshayahu before I realized what the Y-A-H-U could have sounded like, which is the Ayah in Jeremiah, or Isaiah, Aya. So Ayah and Aya are the potentials. But anyways, Yahizquel, Ezekiel, Y-E-H with a dot, E-Z-Q-E with a half a check mark, L. Ezekiel 1. And it came to be in the 13th year, in the 4th month. Oh, they said month. Usually they say the 4th new moon, and then I gotta say month to make sure that you guys understand. Even though you probably do understand, but maybe you don't understand, you know? So it's, yeah. And on the 5th, and it came to be in the 13th year, in the 4th month, on the 5th day, or on the 5th of the new moon, as I was among the exiles by the river Kebar. River's got a capital R, and Kebar is K-E-B with a line underneath of it, A-R. For the E, it's always on top. With E with a half a check mark, the half a check mark is always on top of the E. It's never anywhere else. So I'll just say E with a half a check mark. And H with a dot, it's got a dot in the middle at the bottom, and it's always like that. It's never anywhere else that I've seen so far. So that's why I just say H with a dot and E with a half a check mark. And I've started to say this at the beginning of the books, each book, but my previous ones I didn't. So that's what that is. The heavens were opened, and I saw visions of Elohim on the 5th of the new moon, in the 5th year of sovereign Jehoiakim's exile. Y-E-H-O-Y-A-K with a line underneath of it, I-N. Jehoiakim's exile. The word of YahWeh came expressingly to Yahizquel. Y-E-H with a dot, E-Z-Q-E with a half a check mark, L. So Ezekiel. I just looked up to see that they were identical. Anyways, the word of YahWeh came expressingly to Yahezquel, the priest, the son of Buzi, B-U-Z-I, in the land of the Kasdim, K-A-S-D-I-M, in the river Kebar, and the hand of YahWeh came upon him there, and I looked and saw a whirlwind coming out of the north, a great cloud with fire flashing itself, and brightness was all around it, and out of its mist, like glowing metal, out of the mist of the fire, and out of the mist of it came what looked like 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man, and each one had 4 faces, and each one had 4 wings, and their feet were straight feet, and the soles of their feet were like the soles of a calf's foot. like a baby cow calves his foot. And they sparkled like the appearance of polished bronze, and under their wings on their four sides were the hands of a man, and each of the four had four faces and wings. Their wings touched one another. They did not turn when they went, but each one went straight forward, and the likeness of their faces, the face of a man, and each of the four had the face of a lion on the right side, and each of the four had the face of an ox on the left side, and each of the four had a face of an eagle. Such were their faces. Their wings were spread upward. Two of each touched one another, and two covered their bodies, and each one went straight forward, going wherever the Spirit was to go, and they did not turn when they went. And the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, and like the appearance of torches moving back and forth among the living creatures. And the fire was bright, and out of the fire went lightning. And the living creatures ran back and forth like the appearance of a flash of lightning. And I looked at the living creatures, and I saw a wheel on the earth beside each living creature with its four faces. The appearance of the wheels and their works was like the appearance of beryl, Beryl, and all four had the same form. The appearance of their works was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. When they went in any one of four directions. They did not turn aside when they went. And their rims were high and awesome, and their rims were covered with eyes all around the four of them. And when the living creatures went, the wheels went beside them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. Wherever the Spirit was to go, they went, because there the Spirit went. And the wheels were lifted together with them, for the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels. When those went, these went. When those went, these went. When those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up together with them. For the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels, and a likeness was over the wheels. And a likeness was over, not over the wheels, sorry. And a likeness was over the heads of the living creatures. An expanse like the appearance of an awesome crystal stretched out over their heads, and under the expanse their wings were straight, one toward another. Each one had two which covered one side, and each one had two which covered the other side of the body. And when they went, I heard the noise of their wings, like the noise of many waters, like the voice of the Almighty, capital A, Almighty. He's talking about the Almighty YahWeh. A tumult, T-U-M-U-L-T, tumult, like the noise of an army, a tumult, like the noise of an army. And when they stood still, they let down their wings, and a voice came from above the expanse that was over their heads. When they stood, they dropped their wings, and above the expanse over their heads was the likeness of a throne, in appearance like a sapphire stone. And on the likeness of the throne was a likeness as the appearance of a man high above it. And from the appearance of his waist and upward I saw what looked like glowing metal, like the appearance of fire all around within it. And from the appearance of his waist and downward I saw what looked like fire and brightness all around, as the appearance of a rainbow in a cloud on a rainy day. So was the appearance of the brightness all around it. This was the appearance of the likeness of the esteem of Yahweh. And when I saw it, I fell on my face and heard the voice of one speaking. Capital O on the one. Also, I'll emphasize more on, like, if instead of saying him, I'll say him, stuff like that, because I'm talking about Yahweh and the Creator and Yehoshua and stuff like that, not just regular citizens. Regular children, I guess you'd say.